if there was some advice that I could have gotten between the ages of 15 to 25 that would have put me on this success trajectory faster, with less frustration in my life, with less time wasted, with less anxiety, with less friction, what would that advice be? And I came up with 17 pieces of advice that I want to share with you here. And so if you're 15 to 25 years old, this is what I would share with you as a young man. To me, you're a young man if you're 15 to 25, and the things you do now in this phase of life will determine how your 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond look. Like if you want to live a life with no regrets, you want to make it to your deathbed and be like, fuck man, I lived a life well lived, I would start with these 17 things if you're a young man. And by the way, this doesn't mean that it doesn't apply to you if you're beyond 25 years old, because truth is, I started getting my shit in order when I was in my early 30s. And really after 38 years old, I really dialed in these things that I'm telling you about, and my life got infinitely better. But if I can give you a decade or 2 decades of advantage that I didn't have, then I want to give you that advantage. So let's get started. So thing number 1 I want to share with you is to wake up early and stack wins, right? Wake up early and stack wins. What I mean about waking up early, that doesn't mean you have to wake up at 4 a.m. But if you're waking up at 8 or 9 a.m., consider waking up at maybe 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. And when you do, I want you to stack wins. The first win is going to be to not hit the snooze button, right? The second win is going to be to maybe drink 30 ounces of water. And I'm just kind of describing my morning routine to you. The next win is going to be to not dive into your social media, but instead to shower and, get to your next thing that you're going to do. What I mean is we need to start stacking little wins. Most of you out there think that success in life is a byproduct of big wins. Like I got to make that deal, I got to get that sale, I got to start that partnership. And the big wins are important too, make no mistake about it. But I'm here to tell you that the little wins, stacked every day, every hour, over time, over days, weeks, and months, make you a fucking gangster of a human being. So I want you to wake up early and stack wins. And what that does is it begins to compound and helps you with thing number 2 that I'm about to share with you, which is to build confidence, right? Thing number 2 is to build confidence. And how do you build confidence? To me, it's simple. You keep the promises that you make to yourself and to others. All confident people is they're people that have high reputations with themselves. And so if you're the type of person that says, well, I'm going to wake up at 5 in the morning, and so you set your alarm to wake up at 5 in the morning, but then you hit the snooze button when the alarm goes off, guess what? You lied to yourself, right? You didn't keep your promise. And so you are eroding your confidence with yourself. You are reducing your reputation. Like if you had your own credit score with yourself, your credit score going down is the equivalent to your reputation and your confidence going down. So if you can make the promises and keep the promises, you will find that you start stacking wins, and as a byproduct, confidence begins to soar. And why I say that is, if you are a confident person, something else happens. You gain competence, meaning when you have to learn something new, when you start a new job, start a new business, take on a new partnership, go into a new relationship, a competent person is going to have a better run at it than someone who is not competent, right? Like who wants to be incompetent? That's kind of stupid. Well, low confidence people are incompetent in many areas of life. High confidence people are competent people in many areas of life. And when you're competent and you have confidence, you become the type of person that no longer seeks the approval and validation of others. Thing number 3, my advice to young men would be to exercise daily. Listen, you have got to exercise daily, because when you exercise daily, you begin to train your muscles. You begin to train your cardiovascular system. But above and beyond that, you begin to get results. Those results are more wins that you're stacking. And those results are a byproduct of discipline, of consistency, of effort, of focus, of delayed gratification, right? Because you and I both know this. One awesome workout is not going to give you the results you want. 1 week of awesome workouts won't give you the results you want. 1 month, you might start seeing some results. 1 year or 6 months, dude, now you're seeing some results. And what did that teach you? That taught you that even if you're not feeling like it, even if you're not motivated that day, you are going to go into the gym, you're going to hit the trail, you're going to do your exercise routine, even if no matter what, because you are a disciplined, consistent, focused individual. And that individual is a confident person who stacks wins, and that's what you want. Thing number 4 of my advice to young men would be eat clean. Listen, I treat myself like an athlete. I'm an entrepreneur, but I treat myself like an athlete, and an athlete exercises daily and eats clean. Think about how much self-control it takes to eat clean. What does eat clean mean? Eat clean means eat in a way that you are showing respect to your body. Imagine this for a moment. If I said, I'm gonna buy you one car that you're gonna own the rest of your life, you don't have to buy this car. I'm gonna buy this car for you. However, you're gonna own this car the rest of your life and there's no other car that you can have other than this one car. Wouldn't you then maintain that car well? Wouldn't you make sure that you rotate the tires, change the oil? If there's any dings in it, you fix the dings. You're always looking after that car. You're washing it, you're vacuuming the inside, because it's the one car that's gonna last you the rest of your life. Guess what? That body and that beautiful brain of yours is the only one you get. So how do you eat well? Eat high protein foods. Eat foods that are also green, like fibrous, right? Keep your carbohydrates to somewhat of a minimum, to moderate, and then keep your fats low. Google macros, like how do I track my macros, and learn to track your macros. If you track your macros, your proteins, your fats, and your carbs, and you knew exactly what your macros should be, in other words, how many carbs, how much fat, and how much protein in grams you should get per day to maintain a fucking sexy, stellar body, then you would be a confident, competent person who respects himself, and therefore you would get respect from others as well. Advice number 5 for young men is to develop core values. When you develop your core values, you now have non-negotiables. Like for me, I won't stay awake past 10 p.m. Now I get it. If I'm doing the project, obviously we're going to be awake around the clock. If I'm doing my annual Suckfest experience where I'll hike 30 miles from sundown to sunup, obviously I'm awake past 10 p.m. But outside of that, I have core values and non-negotiables. And by having core values and non-negotiables, like I know I'll never put myself in a position to go against my core values, right? It's almost like having lanes in your life. You ever hear people say, hey man, stay in your lane. Well, stay in your lane also means have your core values so that if someone drank and they're gonna drive, I'm not getting in the car with you. You wanna party after 10 p.m.? I ain't the one to hang out with. Oh, you got a joint? I ain't smoking that, not anymore. I'm done with that, right? Oh, you wanna sit around and gossip about things. Part of my core values is I don't gossip. Oh, you want to complain about things. Part of my core values is I don't complain. I just solve problems, right? And so because I have core values, the people I hang out with, they share similar core values, and allows me to eliminate the negative people that don't belong in my life, that I don't want to influence me. So when you have core values and when you have non-negotiables, you have lanes in life that you can stay in, which really guide you to a better place in life. You get to a higher trajectory of success faster. Thing number 6 is to dream big and to protect those dreams. I'm telling you right now, not everybody wants to see you win. And the reality is the bigger your dream, the more they want to shit on it. But that doesn't mean everybody wants to shit on it. You might have a tight group of family members or friends who really root for you. But beyond that, most people that you share your dreams with, they're going to be so intimidated because you're going to have to change and become your higher self. If you have this big dream, you're gonna have to change and become your higher self to achieve that dream. You're gonna have to become different. You're gonna have to have more commitment. You're gonna have to dedicate more time, and that means more time away from them. And that's why most people are like the crabs in a bucket. They wanna pull you down and they wanna hold you down because they don't wanna see you thrive, because you are now going to have to disassociate from them. You better set big dreams, you better set big goals, and you better work like a fucking monster to chase those big dreams down and achieve them. Otherwise, you will have a lifetime of regret. Thing number 7, go the other way. Most people are a part of some kind of herd. They see what the herd is doing and they do what the herd is doing. And the reality is, and Tony Robbins says this, he says, if you want to be successful in life, watch what everybody is doing and do the opposite, and you will be successful in life. And I'm telling you right now, Go the other way more often instead of blending into the herd, and you will see that yes, you will stand out. Yes, they will think you're weird. Yes, they will call you out. I've had all of that happen to me. My whole life I've been the black sheep because I stand out. I did things differently because I listened to an audio CD of Tony Robbins back in the 90s, like in the late 90s. And I was like, holy shit, this guy's speaking the truth. And the truth is, most people are intimidated by people that have big goals, big dreams, and want to do big things. And if I have big goals and big dreams, then I have to do the opposite of what everyone else is doing. And if you're doing the opposite, you're going to stand out. And you know what they say, the nail that stands out gets hammered. I'd rather get hammered for having big dreams because all the hammering does is forge me into a stronger human being.